Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport L. This model is finished off in platinum white pearl with an MSRP just over $37,000. The L for this particular model means that it has the leather trimmed seats. And then the white is really the only option for this particular model. We'll start off underneath the hood, where this is powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It also has a 2-motor hybrid system along with the eCVT transmission. Pumps out 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque. It's front-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. And as far as MPG goes, you're looking at 46 miles per gallon in the city and 41 out on the highway. Now you'll notice there's a lot of gloss black, which looks really nice, especially for this model finished off in white. The Honda badge is also the sensor for distance pacing. You'll notice a lot of cutouts within that grille. A dark housing for the LEDs with that sunken in design. There's some matte black trim accents in front of that. And then gloss black for the lower section of the bumper with some more cutouts as well to provide additional cooling and better airflow. Now there's also a matte black set of wheels with the multi-spoke design. You'll notice more gloss black for the lower side skirt. It's on the mirror caps too. It's on the window trim, and there's a sunroof up top. Now there's also some very crisp lines that come down the side. And then in back, there's a small trunk mounted spoiler. The logos are blacked out. There you'll notice the trim accent running through the trunk lid too, which is neat to see. There's more gloss black for the bumper, and then this also has remote start. So if you lock it, you can hold this control, and that's how it will turn on. And then you can also hold on it to shut it off as well. And then you do have a trunk release, or you can just use the control underneath. And you can gain access to your cargo space. For the Accord, this has a good bit of space in back. There's also a little bit of hidden storage, and then you can also fold the back seats down for even more practicalities. There's one grab handle. It's a very lightweight trunk lid, so it's easy to close. Now as we work our way to the interior, there's some black accents along with the brushed accent on the release handle, a little bit of storage down below. And then with this seat released, you can fold it down and see the opening into the back there. And then at 5'10", I have quite a lot of space. There's one storage pocket, some auxiliaries and vents, and I have about a ½ inch or so of headroom. Large armrest with the cup holders there. And so this will be perfect for adults, car seats. You have quite a lot of space for this vehicle. Now this also has memory seating adjustments. There's window control, side mirror adjustments, more storage down below, and then a similar design, of course, for the front seats. Now as we turn this on, we're greeted with a leather steering wheel. This has paddle shifters on both sides, and then there's volume tuning and voice commands, all of your cruise control settings with distance pacing and steering assist. Both of the rotary dials are for the digital gauge cluster. So by using the dial on the left side, you can basically go through the audio adjustments on this left side. And then the right side, using that control, there's a lot more information that you can get into. There's also a no content screen, so if you don't want to have anything shown, you can do that, or you can continue to go through the rest of this information. So you have quite a lot, just depending on what you would like to see. Now there's also one air vent, the trunk release, and then with the larger infotainment system, there's a split view. So there's information on the right side, and you can still go through info on the main section here in the middle. You can go through the power flow, monitor all of that, and then there's also this fixed bar on the left side. So you can get into some more of your audio adjustments, Apple CarPlay, and then quickly get back to home, and there's a volume knob, which is nice. Now there's this neat trim accent for the air vents going to the passenger side. There's volume, temperatures, where you'd like the air to go, defrosters, even heated seats for this model, wireless charging with auxiliaries, and then cup holders too. Now with this in reverse, there's a few different angles for the backup camera. And then once you put it into drive, that's how you can activate the paddle shifters. And I will show that once we get this out on the road. Behind that, there's the different driving modes. So depending on the throttle input you would like, and there's also an E mode. So you can go between EV or EV Auto. There's also auto hold and the e-brake, along with a 12-volt down below. There's a locking glove box with plenty of space, and then the rear view, dome lights, sunglass holder, and then the control for the sunroof. The sunshade is manual. And then here's a look at visibility. Super easy to see all around for this larger sedan. And with it in sport mode now, here we go. So just easy on the accelerator and we can get back up to speed. Now let's talk about the paddle shifters here again. In a normal vehicle, the plus side would be for upshifting, the minus side would be for downshifting. In this hybrid here, when you push on the negative paddle or the minus paddle on the left side, it's for the regenerative braking. So I am not touching the brake pedal right now, and we are coming to a stop. I don't believe it's going to come to a full stop, so of course I will have to apply the brakes when needed. But you have the regenerative braking to help charge the battery. This is not a plug-in hybrid, so if you are running low, you can use that. The engine, of course, is going to charge it as needed as well. And if I push on the right paddle all the way up to what I'll call setting 1, when I let my foot off of the gas pedal, we're just coasting like normal. So only then, when I push on this left paddle, do we start to come to a stop there. So in a sense, you can have one pedal driving with this vehicle. So if you're in stop and go traffic or something, you don't have to reach over for the brake pedal as often depending on the mode that you are in. And of course you need to apply the brakes since it won't come to a full stop. But it is nice to see that. So right now, I'm not even going to apply the brake because the regen braking is slowing us down. I can stay on the gas and easily make that turn as if I was going back and forth. So really neat to see that technology. And other than that, it's a great daily driving vehicle. For the price tag too, there's some plastics, but there's also the soft touch materials on all of it as well. It gives it a really nice upscale look, especially for the price, under $40,000. This is what you would expect, but it's also simple, very nice. It doesn't look cheap by any means for this type of vehicle. So it would make for a great commuter and one that you can just hop in and drive. Plenty of space for people and cargo. You can use this for different drive shares or ride shares, along with just having 4 or 5 people in here very comfortably. If you're not looking for a big sedan or a larger SUV, you want a big sedan, this is definitely a great option to go with. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Accord Sport Hybrid L. Once again, huge shout out to Honda of Huntersville for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I'll see you all in the next video.